Hi, so this is the first tutorial of the React Native series. So for the first episode, I just want to share with you all the tools that are out there that simplifies the coding of mobile apps so much in the industry itself. So one of the top clients that is used by React Native is this thing called Expo. So what it does is that you can code it in a browser or you can code it offline using a tool, and you can load it into your mobile phone without you having to publish to the App Store, connect the USB cable, or even configure anything on your laptop to start developing mobile applications itself. So if you are using iOS, you can search up for this thing called the Expo client and download it. If you guys are using Android, go ahead, search for Expo, and you will find this app over here. So download it on your phone, and we can go through it together. To get it up and running, you should see over here that you can click on the plus button up here to type in the project URL where we'll go through about it. And another thing is use the scan QR code to start using this to start producing your app itself. So one of the tools that I would put a link in the description below, and also what I like to use is something called Snack. So you can just go to snack.expo.io. So I just wanted to give you a sense of what we're going to create today. So what we're going to do today is create a login panel where I can type a username, which is my name, and let's say I type in my password and click on login, which gives me an alert box of what I've typed today. So here is where the QR code comes in handy when you first go to the Snack app itself. You just have to take out your phone, iOS or Android, and scan this QR code, and you'll be connected to the app. So after you're done, just click the X button and you'll be presented with this screen. So on the left side of it, it contains all the directory or the files that exist in this example itself. On the middle, it is the code screen. On the right, which I'm scrolling over here, it's a place that you can drag and drop buttons that actually implements quite a bit of functionality inside of it, and we'll go through that itself. And lastly, on the right side here, there is a simulator in here that you can actually use and do your work if you do not want to use your mobile phone. So now you are in the simulator, which I'll use the simulator to code today. You'll be presented with this screen over here that says that change code in editor and watch it. So the beauty of React Native is that I can just update this code over here, and it will just update on the right itself. So you don't have to compile any React Native, compile any code needed, such as like on Java or on Swift itself to do it. So you get real-time feedback over here. So for this assignment of creating the login panel today, so we'll go through it step by step itself. So one of the things that I want to do first is to change the header bar over here, which is so we'll just delete away the text over here, save to get a shareable URL. So this syntax over here, it's very like a HTML kind of syntax, and after that I'll go through a bit of the JavaScript examples on the top with you. So if you can see, there's this card here, which is the title local module. So let's just change it to login panel over here. So it's updated. This asset example is a component which loads this thing, this template over here, without you having to code it in individual pages that you'll be building next time. And we'll go into this in more details in the next example, next tutorial itself. So let's just delete it for now. So now you're left with the login panel, and you want to put some text input fields in there. So what you can do now is if you scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see this text input, which allows you to enter text via the keyboard. So let's just drag and drop this into it, and drag two of it into it. There you go. So now I have two inside. And I'll just go through some of the things over here. So value is what is defined in this box itself. Like right now, I'm doing you can change me. On change text is whenever I change a value right there. So if I were to type A, this triggers this call of a handle text change. So what it does is it executes a function over here. And what this does is to take the value that is in here and set it to a state. So what a state does is you can think of it like a database, a temporary database that stores data for you that you can refer to when you need it. So what we want to do today is to change this a bit, to leave the field to be empty, to leave this field to be empty, and then put the text, username, and password on top of it. So what you can do first is to change this input value to the username, and also add a new state called password. So let's remove the values in there, and now you can see empty string. So what we want to do next is also this handle text change. We need two of them, one for username and one for password. So let's just call this a handle username change. Let's copy this and change this to username, and let's set another one for password change. Use password and password. So all you have to do now is also to change this state to username, handle password change, handle username change, and also over here handle password change, and change this to password. Done. So the great thing here is that I can type my username and I can type my password. But I just need to tell the user what it is over here. So there's one thing called the placeholder. So what you can do is you can place a temporary text when the thing is empty itself. So I want it to be a placeholder of username when it is active, and I want it to be password. Another thing you have noticed is also the password is in plain text. So like over here, I can type my password, and you can see that everything is shown to the user. So one of the field that is called to prevent that is called secure text entry equals to true, and there you have the password. So next we want to implement a button. So there, the password is set. So next we want to implement a button. So let's scroll up to the top, look for the button, and drag it into here. Bam. So just rename it to login. And what we want to do is we want to show up an alert box for the user to say that this is your username and password today. So what you can see here is that there's this alert box already created for you. It just says you did it. So let's just change it a bit. That let's say that login pressed, and print out the username and password. So what we're going to do today, we can do this. Let's do a username, and I'm going to print out my username here. Plus, I want my new line and my password. So what I do right here is to take a state. So how I can get the value, it's called this.state.username, and after that I can use the this.state.password. And there you go, that's about it. So let's test it out. So my username, let's call it my own name, and then my password, So when I click login, they tell me we have pressed on the login and the username Junja, and the password is right there on the screen. So that's it for the first tutorial. I hope you all enjoy it and see the value of why React Native is so powerful. It provides real-time feedback. You can just code it in the browser itself, and you don't have to download any tools or kind of stuff except for an app that you get to download on your mobile phone. There isn't any cable. You can connect it over your mobile networks and your Wi-Fi, and yeah, you can just play around with all this. Even a Facebook login works right out of the box. Like if you see, I click on login with Facebook, and you just link up with the Facebook login right there. That's just a drag and drop. So it's really amazing. Try it out by yourself, play it around, and I'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of the tutorial. Remember to just comment on what you would like to see and subscribe to this video as well. Thank you.